Alrighty, everybody. So today we're gonna be going over, I guess, what you could say more or less is standard play for Space Marines. This has probably been one of my more requested videos for a while. It's just like, man, how do I play Space Marines and such? And to be honest, for a while, I really didn't know because I don't really play Space Marines, but I took my time and talked to people and watched God knows how many videos to the point where I can confidently say, yeah, I could do some standard Space Marines. I could maybe even, I don't know, pull off an upset in a match. Maybe not win the whole set, but, you know, whatever. I could probably do something. But yeah, so I'm going to show you some cookie cutter standard Space Marines. So let's see. There's nobody really online right now at this hour, but that's okay. So we'll just set it to Fata Morga because this is the most common map you're ever going to play in Soulstorm. And it's a really fantastic map, I just gotta say. It's really good. I mean, you might see, like, Blood River here and there, but Blood River's its own different beast. It's like, because the map is so small and so short on its rush distance that weird shit happens. So we'll just go with Fata Morga. Perfect. Just set the AI to whatever. Set it to, yeah. Cool, we'll have the AI at potato. Excellent, excellent. So, standard Space Marine play, man. This is gonna be some interesting stuff. It's gonna look like the most mundane, boring thing ever, but this is at least kind of how I play. Whoop. There we go. 2 scouts, and then we'll go ahead and do that with our chapel barracks. Get a second builder going. Now you might wonder, why don't I go for more builders? It's because, like, well, 2 builders is really kind of like the maximum efficiency on a building. Like, once you go past that, you're kind of wasting your time. So it's just kind of one of those things to keep in mind.
Scouts reporting for duty.
Let's see here, and then you guys will go here. Perfect, perfect. I probably won't. Yeah, I probably won't build a generator right now. It's probably not really necessary, but I'll get that force commander going. And then, yeah, perfect, perfect. And then we'll get like 2 Space Marine squads.
Yes, sir. Position.
Start getting these LPs going. Because really, so when it comes to Space Marines early game, like, yeah, scouts are kind of shitty, except on Blood River if you're against Necrons, haha. But
Defending objective.
there's another purpose that scouts have. They're good when they're supporting things and when they're being supported, and if you have enough of them, I guess. So don't just throw them away willingly. Like, yeah, obviously you kind of want to poke around and scout, but you still do need to capture your points and everything, and you really do not want to throw them away, because Space Marines have it kind of rough on their early game sometimes. So I don't really like to throw away my scouts because they're really fragile. Like, they're stupid fragile with how easily they can die. So, like, for example, if you're against, like, Chaos or something, here, we'll take these guys as an example. Like, it's really tempting to go get in there and try and mess with their builders, because their builders tend to be, you know, pretty,
infiltrating enemy territory.
you know what? I'll go have these guys cap that. These guys can go here. That'll be fine. That'll be a-okay. Yeah, so it's really tempting to try and go in there and, like, mess with their builders. But the reality of it is that, you know, you're more likely to lose your scouts because you greed on that. And that's just something to keep in mind, is that you just don't want to throw away your scouts. So you can see here, I'm just kind of getting some information, poking around. I see that there's a couple cultists here, and scouts are not going to beat cultists. They're just not. Like, one-on-one, like, individually, they won't. But, you know, that's fine. It's kind of whatever. Here, we'll build this right here. Yeah, we can go 2 gens. Why not? Yeah. So we're probably not going to go above 2 Space Marine squads. I just don't see it as really all that necessary. But, you know, I can poke around, maybe look and see if they have, like, a point here, or if they have this taken. Just kind of trying to uncap that, even right here. So, you know, let's say you're in a match and your opponent just doesn't have an LP there yet. Bonk. That's, wow, that was a little greedy. But, you know, that's the thing is, you know, you can just uncap that real quick. Then, you know, just kind of get a move on. Just carry along, do your thing. And then over here, yeah, these cultists aren't gonna really kill Space Marines. It's just not gonna happen. So as you can see here, like, I can try and get on these, I can try and get on those heretics. Maybe start my tier 2, actually. I should actually upgrade my LPs. So we'll just not do that. You know, just
Area secured.
start upgrading that.
Yes,
Prep for a good economy.
Build routine
Scouts
set
Because,
ready.
you know,
to
economy is a
initiated.
huge thing in this.
Scouts awaiting
And,
orders.
you know, as you can see here, like, now they're being pressured, and
Any
that
enemy
sucks.
positions.
Yeah, because, like, in a situation like this, like, killing these guys would be no problem. Because there's already, like, Chaos Space Marines and the like going out. Oh, I did get them, though. That was cool.
Commencing
So, you know, it's just one of those things where it's just not
He who
really,
stands with me shall be my brother.
it's just not really,
Most beneficent one, here to serve. I exist to
gems,
serve.
that sucks. Yeah, so it's just not really
The Emperor.
trying to throw away your scouts. Like, you can try and poke and prod around a little bit, but just
Praise
be
the
just as
Emperor.
prepared to, like, just get out of there.
Moving out.
Yes.
You know, but we can put a little pressure on there and everything. But as long as we know to kind of try and get out of here, I think I'll attach him to a squad, just so he's a little bit more protected. We'll just assume that there's CSM going around. Now honestly, a lot of the Space Marines early game just comes down to unit control. Unit control. Like, that's a huge thing.
Yes, most.
Because if you don't have good unit control, you're gonna get bullied like crazy in the early game. Like, you'll just get super bullied. Now obviously, you know, this is against like potato AI, and so I'm able to just kind of screw around and just get a little bit more practice in and everything. But in general, you kind of want to have your LP2s going and everything. And just have your economy going well. Like 104.30, this is probably a little bit more abnormal. Realistically, you know, these probably would, maybe this wouldn't be an LP2 quite yet. This probably would be.
Has begun.
Oh, good for you, scouts. Good for you. You guys can go over here.
Actual command.
You guys can go over here, I guess. Cool.
On alert.
And so, you know, we just want to play like cookie cutter standard and just not do anything super flashy. So now I'm going tier 2. I'm gonna get ready to slam this bad boy down because armories are pretty dope. They're pretty cool. There we go. That was probably a little bit late. That's okay. Like I said, I am not the world's greatest Space Marine player. Space Marines just aren't my forte. But I can play them now, at least. So there's that. And they are fun to play. To be honest with you, they're very fun. But you know, I think sometimes people are afraid to use their Space Marines as well. Like, here's the thing: don't be afraid to kind of get out there and do some fighting. Like, your guys are durable. They are. Obviously, they're expensive to replace. You know, 50 ain't no joke. But you know, it's grab those grenades. Yeah, because by the time these gens finish, we should be hitting tier 2, and then we move into our perfect. Yeah, and as you can see, things are going well. I'm just kind of doing my thing. And you know, generally, when you're harassing someone, at this point, I'm just full capping just to flex on the AI. But if you pop an LP, uncap it. Like these scouts here, uncap it. These guys can fight a little bit. Once they uncap it, get out. Just leave. Just leave. You've done what was necessary. You need not do more. I assure you. Well, we'll even get the sniper rifle training. So now we'll throw this down real quick. Chaplain going. Maybe try getting some of our global upgrades. Those are always pretty good.
5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we don't need the sniper rifle training. It's just not necessary. That's really expensive. Holy crap. But you can. Absolutely can.
Area secured.
Today the enemy shall know fear. What would you have me do?
Perfect. And you know, this is all there really is to Space Marines. It's just kind of just about this really safe play that you can consolidate into getting this like sort of mass almost.
What would you have me do?
And with that, you know, you just kind of win with these like really slow burns here and there. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Grey Knights. You want the Grey Knights because the Chaplain goes really well with them. Seriously, he really does. I highly recommend it. At some point I want to get a Librarian, but we'll get this aura. I want to get that aura first. Want to get my Rhino. I love my Rhino. Always want to have a Rhino. That should be one of the like first vehicles you get. Like, unless you're like super behind, there is no reason for you to not have a Rhino. It would be it would be highly ridiculous for you to not have a Rhino.
Praise the
Because it's such a good utility vehicle. And then from there, we're going to get in some Landspeeder Tempest. I like to upgrade them anti-tank or anti-vehicle, all that stuff. I think it might be like, I think it might actually be like anti-building, but
On alert,
you get the point.
brothers. The
You
enemy
get the
must be
point.
nearby.
We'll get more of our
Beware the
upgrades.
alien, the mutant.
Get ready to grab our Librarian. Oh wow, he's only 80 power. I thought he was 100. Cool. You know, maybe get that second Rhino in there at some point.
Be my brother.
Get vehicle upgrade. Yeah, you just have to spend your money. That's really what it comes down to, spending your money. Because once you're at this point, like if you manage to play well and you didn't take a lot of damage, you know, you're in a really good spot.
Softly and carry
And you generally at this point, this is where you're like really scary. You can push. You know, I can put my Space Marines in here.
The enemy must be nearby.
Yeah, there we go.
Command.
Maybe you want to give your scouts some plasma because why not? Now, it might seem really weird that I'm putting,
The Emperor it shall be so.
it might seem a little bit strange that I'm putting these guys in shooting mode, but I want to show you why. And when you see why, I think it'll make a lot more sense for you. So let me just get all this back here. So first off, not only did we get the plasma upgrade, which is great, but look, when they shoot the same target at once. So in reality, they're actually putting down a crap load of DPS. And of course, you know, they've got their ability here, you know, the Psychic Inquisition, that's really powerful. But then because you have this guy with them, you have Demoralizing Shout, and you can go ahead and grab, you know, their research for the rush if you want. Yeah, you absolutely can. And you know, from there, we can start looking into our next tier. We have our globals, we have our upgrades, we have our units and everything. We're in a really good position. We can go to the next tier, and yeah, look at that damage though. Their shooting damage is crazy good. Like it is actually insanity. And so we've got, you know, we've just got all these leads built up, so we can, you know, we might actually have to sacrifice a scout squad, but that's whatever. But you know, we can now we have our hero hammer going. That's kind of, you know, that's just kind of, well, X on for that one. Okay, whatever. But yeah, and that's just all it really comes down to is we have this really good play, and we can expand this into further leads. But oh yeah, I should probably build that. I'm just loading so much wreck right now. So, you know, maybe you want to add in, I don't know, an Assault Marine squad. Cool. You can do that. It's just, you know, you just got to spend your money. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to this. Just spend your money. Spend your money. And this is, in general, what a lot of this stuff looks like. And just to keep in mind, by the way, you do hold on to the missile and reload it a lot faster to reprime it when they're in the Rhino. So that's just something to keep in mind. As you can see, so they're already ready to fire, and you can just, you know, this is all it really comes down to. Like I said, the hardest part when it comes to Space Marines is their early game. That's the part that's hard. Is that early game, they can get bullied like they're Tau. And that's the truth. They really can. Of course, there are some stupid things that they can do. Like, if you're against Necrons on Blood River, you can just scout flood them, and it's really funny. And there's two different ways you can do that, which, you know, I don't recommend you do, because it's not a good habit. But yeah, that is really what standard Space Marine looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have any replays, because, once again, I really just don't go out of my way to play Space Marines. They're just not my favorite race. I'm like a Dark Eldar and Necron player, so it's kind of whatever. But I think just at least seeing that and being talked through the general idea of some of these things. Now, obviously, there's always going to be some nuances. Like, if you're against Chaos, yeah, they're going to have Raptors in your stuff quickly. So maybe getting that Space Marine squad out first and then Force Commander is a little bit better. But if you're against, like, Tau, you know, just go ham. Just get both the Space Marine squads out, get an early detector, and go ham. Because, you know, you can bully them. If it's orcs, you know, just prepare for the aggression from the big mech and just play safe, you know, but still try and push back a little bit, because there's still, you know, you can do some damage. Don't worry. Just understand what your positioning looks like. So when we talk about what makes a good Space Marine player, it really just comes down to being able to read the situation depending on your matchup, and also your unit control. Because if your unit control just isn't there, and you're making bad mistakes with your scouts and all that stuff too early and losing too much stuff, then it's going to be really hard for you to advance forward into that mid-game spike that you're looking for. And yeah, you have that late game as well, where you'll get, you know, your Terminators and whatnot, and more stuff. But realistically, that spike, once you have that hero hammer going and you have some vehicles, you know, the 2 Space Marine squads, the Grey Knights, the Rhino, and the land speeders, like that's kind of a point where you hit a good power spike, and you really do need to utilize that. So if you don't find a way to grow a lead and do some damage there, like popping that random LP someone has, it's cool and all, but like, yeah. And of course, while behind that, do more stuff. Maybe add in, like I said, a unit of Assault Marines. Do that. Just spend your money, use your blobbage well, but just don't overcommit and do stupid things with it. So I hope that this video helped you guys. And if you do need to practice with Space Marines, you know, feel free to ask me. I've got a Discord server. It's always there in the links for all my videos. So if you do ever want to practice, or you want to, you know, practice against Space Marines, I guess I can. I'm not the best, but hey, whatever. And the other component to learning in any RTS, go out there and engage in more content. Watch more videos on different things. Like, you're gonna learn. You'll learn quickly, and then just get out there and do it. Talk to some people and do some practice matches. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be all for this. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.